Now then, welcome back. This is the finale of the Beaverdome series, which is just about episode 18 by my calculations. Today, we are basically going to be finishing off pretty much everything that's going to set the colony up to see them live forever. Last time, we pretty much fixed everything with the bots, although I think we've got quite a few of them now, although with beavers, I think took a bit of a nosedive from a few deaths, but that's not too bad. They are on the way up for the bots. What we do have, though, is a problem with wood, which led me to planting all of this last time. Now, here, I actually set up the oaks to come into here, but I think due to how this is set up, I'm just going to replace all of these with pines, just for the fact that they grow a lot quicker, so they should give us a decent amount of buffer space, I hope, for what we have in here. So just going to replace all of these, which is perfectly fine. And then we just need to get someone actually in here to plant them. Now, we don't have anyone, so we're going to switch this to bots, as we have plenty of spare. But we also need to get some fuel down in here for them. So let's just put this in here, get some biofuel in, which is looking pretty low, actually. So we need to fix that production problem, but that should be set to obtain. So with any luck, these here will grow up and sort of replenish the main wood, the longer term stuff. Obviously we get 8 logs out of these versus pines where we get not quite as much, but these will grow obviously a lot quicker in pretty much near enough half the time, just under. So with that said, let's figure out why we're low on various bot juices. So looking at this, we're pretty much down on catalyst. In fact, there is no catalyst, and we are dangerously low on biofuel. So we need to fix that problem before we get too invested. Now, because these don't need power, I think we can be probably a little bit sneaky and get them just sat on top of these warehouses here. We just got to figure out how to do the paths to them, which might be easier than I think. So if we just get that into there, and is that too high? Looks like it to me. And then get the usual, get some steps in. And then see just about where the refinery is. So let's just chuck these in here. Now obviously we can't get that many in here, but it's more than we have at the minute. Just get that pathed up. This is, I think, the perfect time to flip this also to bots, and we'll get them let's carrot, we'll get the potatoes in. And I think these guys can do catalyst. So again, let's just bot these up. And these guys can be working through the night as well. So that should give us enough options for sustainability of the bots at this point. So we just need to keep an eye on how quickly it takes them to get all that sorted out. It could also be a hauling issue, although I'm not too sure how. We could flip some more of these over, although we've just gone down to having 2. So if we're not building at the minute, we can probably just leave that as is. Maybe we get another final one in here, to be fair, just to fill the gap. And just crank that, I think. We're going to be down we don't have enough to fill it, but depending on which one increases faster, we can sort of get those in. Now that is probably going to cause us some issues with the potatoes as well. So what I think is going to be best for us to do is to finally say goodbye to pretty much everything here. Just need to be careful we don't delete anything we shouldn't. Don't want them to take that out. And then, don't forget, oh, it's not building, is it? Rip these out, so that's all gone. What I will add, once they've ripped it out, is just put a path in across here and put some stairs up, and then if we do need berries, which I'm pretty sure we don't, we should be able to get up here. Just don't need that one. Get up here to get this in for no particular reason. And then, depending on how much space these have, which is not a great deal. It's not all the planting area, I suppose, but I think it'll be fine. But we're going to need to put in some more potatoes. So I think with what we've just ripped out, they're going to be... I can't reach all of those anyway. But what we've ripped out, I think they're going to be using and burning through those pretty quickly. So I may even put another farmhouse in there. And that pretty much guarantees us access to everything. So, with that said, while we have a decent stash of that right now, they are going down pretty quickly. And we don't really have the carrots to deal with that either, so I'm hoping if we can stabilise this out, I think we'll be in a pretty good position, to be fair. What else are we short on? Paper still remains a problem for us, but pretty much maxed out on most of the other resources. Planks still an issue, I think, but I don't really think we need to do too much about it. It seems to be fairly stable, but I think it's just the paper's going because the punch cards and the books. So kind of is what it is. So fuel looks to have recovered quite nicely. So hopefully that gets... potatoes might rebound slightly once these are both full. So there's one down here, which is supplying this one up here. So once that's covered, I think we're back in a good spot. The catalyst... What do we need for catalyst? Where is it? Is it one of these? So it is extract and the maple syrup. So the maple syrup is waiting, I think, for these. It's still quite a while for those to come in. And I'm hoping that that's enough to get us to what we need, as we don't really have any other tree planting areas, not without creating some anyway. So while we're in this drought, nothing's going to grow up here. Well, we could look to do some bits and pieces down here if we want to dig all this out. I'm not sure we do, but I think we just need to wait and see how this responds once all of this has got actual maple syrup to be harvested. Probably we do need it, to be fair. We'll see. We could start to think about dynamiting some area out here and letting all some like a pool of water in here and reunifying all of this area if we wanted to, but I'm just not sure we need to. See how that goes. So, with any luck, once this is over, not too bothered about the bot parts is enough to keep them going. But I think catalyst is a problem. So I might flip that to... No, I'm not. I'm gonna leave it. We don't really need catalyst. It just makes the bots work a bit more efficiently. I think they're being efficient enough. Let's swap that for bots. What might be an idea is getting these prioritized. See if this makes a bit of difference, but I'm pretty sure it's the maple syrup, to be fair. Potatoes are holding steady, so I think we're okay. So, should we look to greenify some more areas, or should we turn some of these into maple? We probably should. Are they not being planted because it's too dry? Probably. So this was put in last time here to flood this, and this runs straight out of this area here. So this has just got a little sneaky little water passage here. Now it's too deep, which we could have fixed by blasting it one level down, I suppose, but doesn't really need it, I don't think. It seems to be just a problem when it's wet. Well, drought. Bad side, it's probably going to be just as bad as well. Yeah, but it seems like that when as this fills up, this should get a bit of extra area to plant. So I think what I am going to do is worry about the maples now. I think this was 2 or 3. It's 3. So we're going to say goodbye to all of this. But not that. So we'll leave all that in, and then with any luck, we can get this pretty much blasted out as quickly as possible. We could dig further back, I suppose, if we really wanted to, but I'm not convinced it's going to buy us too much. Certainly not if we're waiting for these things. Let's just go back up here. So it seems that we do have an irrigation problem down this way. So we'll need to fix that. What's going to be the best way? I think it is probably just going to be digging a hole and filling it with water. Okay, so let's just rip all of this out. Even though they've just been planted. Because of the height difference, there's not much we can really do in terms of making this a bit any more efficient. I don't think. No, because ultimately... Oh no, in fact we could. There's a sluice in here. Let me just change my mind on that. I think what we will do is rip those out. Because with that, we can actually put a water dump in here. So let's see. Water fluid dump. Yeah, if we did that. No, we don't take Get rid of this one now. So let's leave that one be. Was it pine? So to get that built, in theory, it will flood up to the height of this. And again, the sluice should mean that we don't have too much of an issue with getting any of the water up to the maximum height. And I hope that will fill that area for us. So that's doing okay. We're still hemorrhaging catalyst, but again, I think that's this more than anything else. What we will do is kaboom these. Wonderful. And I think that gives us quite a bit more space to get some maple in. And this guy here should have the reachability for all of that. So I'm going to swap that for a bot as well, so we have the bots for it. And hopefully, with all that being said, yep, we've got a path. There we go. And probably just a little bit of water up here as well, I think. Let's just chuck that in there. Also obtain. Ah, very well some biofuel up here. Never mind. I must have thought ahead, but it's okay. Cool. Okay, so paper's still struggling, isn't it? Can't really do too much because we're out of logs, so we're kind of stuck behind all the logs coming in. Why can they not cut these? What are you doing? So if you're sat there, why is this not cuttable? Not sure. It's within range. Weird. And this one here. Ah, are they not? They are not. Right, okay. Mystery solved. Let's fix that. Doesn't buy as much, but take it as a extra bonus. Hopefully this is now being filled. Oh, now it will be by a bot. And I'm hoping that with that we can get everything watered down here. And we can get another pine in looking at that. So let's just chuck that in there. We can probably get them in a few more places actually. So let's just... we could go down onto this plateau to be fair, so why not? A little bit too far. Let's just take those out. And it gives this little hospital wing here somewhere nice to walk over. There's some nice little forest for them to see. Looking at that, once that's up all the way, I think we should get decent coverage with the water. We've also got some more space up here, so let's just... squeeze in what we can with what we've got. And I'm hoping, with any luck, that does everything we need it to do. Okay, so just wondering if we can do anything about the paper, but I'm not too sure we can. We can still get another one in here, to be fair, but it's not going to, I don't think, do too much. But let's just put that in there, and we'll run that in, see if that's just enough to keep us over the edge of production. And I'm hoping that's all the major raw materials, to be fair. Still have quite a way to wait for those. But we do have some of these coming in, so yeah, we're still pretty much stuck behind wood. So I think we've outstripped the available growing capacity here. So it could be worth ripping all this out. Not really a fan of that, but we'll see. We'll see how these pines get on. They're not too far from being fully grown anyway, so that's good. We could do something extra up here as well to keep all of this here alive. We have got the access. Pretty much on most of that, to be fair. Why not? Let's also make most of this as well. So let's just get these in, and then with a forester. Don't think there's going to be a decent place we can put anything in here, but maybe put that in. Can that reach? No. I mean, we're in desperate need for the tree, but we'll just rip it out. Just so we get the path in. So let's just super prioritize that. Now we get the path put in. There we go. And with that, we can cover pretty much everything down here. And if we put another one up top, we can cover everywhere else. What we probably should do down here is something to fix this problem. But we're going to need beavers in here, and here, and here. In fact, I don't think we'll need these for that, actually, so I'll take that out, change my mind, and let's get these cut. Let's just lay this in. I don't know exactly how far they can go, but we're going to fill it pretty much all the way in. With... I think this one can be oaks quite safely, so let's just... We're going to lose, in fact, let's just take those out. I'm not entirely sure if this will work, but we do need to put contamination barriers down. And I'm hoping this works. I don't know if it's strictly necessary, to be honest with you, but we will find out together. And then let's just put these oaks back in here. They should be able to reach everything. Yes, they can. So with any luck, when the bad tide comes here, these are enough to stop it. I don't know if it works underwater, but I think when this is dry, it will. I'm not sure. Something to test. But with that, you need to get something to be planted down here. So let's keep you on board with that. And as all that's ripped out, we can just replace them all every now and again. It should be enough to keep them busy. It's not like we're hemorrhaging for bots or anything, so I think we're okay. This guy's out of juice, but he's going to be able to get to pretty much everything. What I will do is change this as well for some more storage. For biofuel. Alright, let's see. So logs are still awful. Potatoes are holding steady. So that's okay. We've still got enough raw food for the beavers. We're starting to hit maple pastry problems, but it is what it is. As these are growing up, we just have to wait another 12 days for these to get some maple syrup on them. So I think we're in a fairly good spot with that. We've got quite a lot of distance extra on here. I guess these can reach. Are they marked for cutting though? That's the question. Not even slightly. So let's fix that problem. And whatever we can get, a tree, we hopefully can cut. We can't, which is a bit of a pain. Can we fix that without too much trouble? Probably not. So I think we'll just ignore the problem completely. Hopefully it'll be fine. Fingers crossed. Right, so I don't think one of these was enough. But again, that could still be backed up because of the logs, to be honest, thinking about it. We just need a load of these to come in all at once. But I think these are being ripped out as quick as they can be planted as well, to be honest. It's still not too far from done. But I think once they recover, we should, in theory, be fine. I think we're just burning through everything as quickly as we possibly can, to be honest. That's berries, we don't have to worry about those. Let's have one last look at the well-being. But I think the colony itself is now in good order, I hope. To the point, I think we will run the old... where is it? We just fix these. Let's get them planted. And then I think come the next day, I think it's about time we wrap up the whole playthrough and we set off this thing. But what I have done is I've messed with the dev console for the first time and found how you can zoom in and out more. So with this, we're going to find a decent little place to park and set it off. Once this day is over, we will set it off, and I think we will leave this playthrough here. We could see how these trees come through. I think once these are starting to come in, if there's enough log buffer, I think this industry will then bounce back. So it could be that we could pause something for a while and let it build up, but I don't think it's too much of an issue at this moment. It's just getting the trees to come through all at the right time. Maple syrup also is a problem, but again, I think as these grow in, I think we'll be in a decent situation. So there's quite a high percentage of these ones down here, so that's okay. But other than that, the foodstuffs are fine. Again, maple pastries is just right out of the maple syrup, but I think that's okay. But as we roll on towards the end of the day for the beavers, they should be no longer working. So what I'm going to do is give them the day off. So there should be no working beavers. And then as the night comes, we will set this off. So we will set up on a nice little bridge here. And let's just... If we launch this... turn that off. Set all that off. And slow it down a little bit. So we can witness the majesty that is all of this going off. And there we go. We have finished. We've mastered folktales, nature-orientated ways, and used the map's resources to build the faction's wonder. So, just a bit of a summary. We've managed not to kill any beavers, which is good. We've consumed a lot of water, more than I thought, and a lot of trees, and blown up quite a bit of stuff. But yeah, I think let's go back into here. What's left of these? Don't know how long we'll be able to see these things for. Yeah, oh, there we go. Got some more here. Look, yeah, very cool. You could zoom out this far. Anyway, with that, obviously this is now be refilled eventually, but we have neither the paper or extract to deal with that. But that gave us a nice little boost on here. Just have one last little look around. So we've fixed our power down underneath here, which took us a while to do. We'll show that. So with this, all of the bad water comes out of these two into this pit and then runs all of this along with the wind farm. It gives us more than enough power, and that just comes nicely off the map here. We've dug a couple of extra little holes out and about the place to try and irrigate some of this. So not exactly sure what level they're all on, but there we go. So the first thing we dug was this little tunnel here, which filled up the little reservoir, I guess it is there. We cut in some more bits and pieces to try and irrigate more of the land. We did use that to fix the water feature, a bit more than a feature, the fountain here, which obviously gives the beavers something to look at. And yeah, we then greenified this area, which gave them a bit more of a fun zone. So this area here was where we put all of our housing, which was originally all just up here, which is long gone. And with that, they can pretty much come down here, come and live, get, you know, some of the benefits from these monuments. Go for a nice mud bath and a bit of a dance. And yeah, been a nice little village for him. I think we could have looked to get all of the beavers out of work and just replace them all with bots, but the bots pretty much replaced their entire industry, and I sort of left them in the food area. But I will sadly end their days off that they've had, as we need to get them in to start cooking and whatnot in all of these areas. But yeah, I think that will, for this much shorter episode than normal, do us for this playthrough. What my plan's going to be is think of something for the Iron Teeth, which is obviously a faction we unlocked, just find them, quite a while ago. So this was the first playthrough of Timberborn that I'd done. So with that, we unlocked the Iron Teeth. Going to give these guys a go. I am very half tempted to try hard mode, as this was normal, so the droughts were fairly short, the bad tides were fairly short, and see if we can survive the Iron Teeth on hard mode. So we need to pick a map and then see if we can't, well, not die, I guess. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Take care and see you next time.